How's it going, folks? Today I'm starting a new video series I'm hoping to do every year. In this video, you'll see everything me and my girlfriend did to our apartment garden from seed to harvest. Without further ado, let's get going. The first thing we have to do is get the bed prepped with some compost. This will help give our soil more essential nutrients so it's ready to grow our crops this year. I did this at the beginning of April around our last frost date, but it can definitely be done sooner. We don't have a lot of garden to work with in this apartment, but it's plenty to grow some delicious veg for the fall. Last year we built this simple raised bed in order to give us a dedicated area for growing edibles, and so we can better control the quality of the soil. And here's the result. We're also going to do a lot of work on the garden as a whole this year. So here's a before, and make sure to stick around for the after at the end of the video. After I spread out the compost, I moved on to planting seeds for each of the 3 vegetables we'll be growing this year. I then gave the raised bed a little watering to help give the seeds a drink. The vegetables we'll be planting are Touchon carrots, Space Hybrid spinach, and Flavor King bunching onions. 11 days later, our seedlings have emerged and are growing tall. I should have sown these carrots a little sparser, but we'll take care of it when we thin them later. The spinach is looking tall and healthy. The onions, on the other hand, haven't grown much. This could be due to a lack of nutrients or a lack of sun. I think it's a lack of sun since they're in the corner of the raised bed and they have that fence towering over them. It could also be that this variety of onions just doesn't grow as fast as others. What you see here is an organic 444 fertilizer that I applied in between the rows of spinach. I want to thank my girlfriend for pulling a ton of weeds over here while I was taking care of the raised bed. Now we can start gardening over here with a blank slate. This will mostly be flowers, but we considered planting corn along the fence. As a part of our garden renovation, we transplanted these beautiful petunias where we pulled the weeds. They're just simple petunias from Home Depot, nothing special. Just 9 days later, the carrots were finally tall enough to thin, and they are looking very healthy. We have 2 volunteer plants from last year. One is this carrot, and the other is an onion. Both are biennial, so both should flower later this year and give us seeds. The spinach is also looking very healthy and is just about ready to harvest for the first time. The onions are just about ready to thin and are actually growing quite tall now. Later, we planted these lovely marigolds in the other spot that we previously weeded. We also filled in some gaps in the petunias. Finally, I planted some seeds from some flower packets that we found at the store. I'm hoping that they actually emerge and grow into flowers, but I guess we'll see what happens. A few days later, the onions were finally tall enough to thin. Now they'll have plenty of room to grow into big bunches of onions. By day 44, our spinach is looking super bushy and healthy. I want to find a natural bug repellent that I can make to stop the bugs from eating so many holes in our spinach, but that's a problem for another time. The carrots are also looking tall and healthy. Not as many carrots made it through thinning as I'd like, but it should still be a good harvest. After 7 days, we got our first cut of baby spinach. Spoiler alert, this spinach will get a lot bigger and bushier, but for now, we're able to take some cuts of the outer leaves. The volunteer carrot is looking bigger than ever and is starting to flower on the top too. And still not much from our onions. So, I'm gonna be honest, we've both been pretty busy this summer and may have forgotten about the garden for a while. We pulled many weeds and this is what was left over. It doesn't look the best, but the onions are still growing, slowly as ever. The spinach, however, is looking very sad. I'm hoping it springs back up, but we'll see. The carrots, on the other hand, are still doing well. Maybe not as good as they could be, but their leaves are looking healthy, and we even got this cool double carrot where I forgot to thin them. The French marigolds are doing exceptionally. Well, most of them anyway. We also got this cool sunflower, daisy. Not entirely sure, but it's growing out of the concrete. The rest of the garden is flourishing, albeit covered in weeds. But there are many flowers popping up inside of the tall grass, and personally, I prefer a garden that looks green and luscious to a garden with a few flowers and a bunch of blank dirt around them. We've got a bunch of these cool purple flowers popping up, as well as these purple/pink flowers and these big orange flowers. And here's some more of the pink flowers and a couple more of those sunflower/daisies. The petunias are also still doing well, although they don't get much light now. After about a week, it was apparent that the spinach was not going to spring back up. I did find this cool bug while I was gardening. I think it's a queen ant, but it could just be a wasp. I can't really tell. At this point, the raised bed wasn't looking great, although the carrots still looked nice and healthy. These carrots are ready to harvest for the first time. The Touchon carrots ended up being much smaller than I had anticipated. Google says that they're typically 6 to 8 inches long, and I think they were just shy of that. The onions are starting to look very tall, and they're joined now by a new volunteer carrot. The spinach, unfortunately, is in shambles. It did not survive the weeding and ended up just shriveling up and dying. The carrots, on the other hand, will still give us one more big harvest. While I did end up harvesting the onions as well, they also weren't nearly as big as I expected. This is how they're supposed to look though. I just need to do research before buying seeds next time. This year I wanted to do a cover crop during the winter in order to keep the soil healthy and keep compaction to a minimum. I got a mixed bag of no-till cover crop seeds on Amazon for the raised bed, and I got grass seed for the rest of the garden to keep the weeds at bay. You'll want to plant your cover crop at least 30 days before the first frost date for your zone. I did it late, unfortunately, and didn't take into account Indiana's unpredictable weather. Just one more thing to improve for next year, I suppose. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and if you want to see more like this, go ahead and subscribe. Also, let me know down in the comments what kind of home and garden videos you'd like to see in the future. I'll leave you with this montage of our flowers at their best. I hope you have a great day.